freshman from Russia. Quite a journey getting a Russian into our country. But it happened, and so she's a true freshman and has adjusted really well. I mean, it's a kid who's never been to the United States. She came with one bag. Her parents have never been here. And she showed up 2 days after classes started, got here after midnight, went to an 8 a.m. math class, and is doing really well on the court and in the classroom. So some kids are just built different. She's one of them.
Courtney, you put up that, obviously, video kind of listing the checklist of, student visa and everything that comes with it.
Yeah.
But how did Lisa get on your radar? Like, when did she kind of come across, you and your staffs, kind of take?
Yeah, they have, FIBA has a bunch of tournaments throughout the summer, especially U20s, U18s, U16s, whether it's in Romania or Turkey or Portugal, and we've been really aggressive at making sure that we keep eyes on the international space, as well as the transfer portal, as well as the high school space. I feel like with the brand of Carolina, I owe that, right, to make sure that we've really scoured all of our bases. But yeah, the international, you start seeing them in those kind of major FIBA championships, and then the recruiting process begins.
How does it kind of reflect? Sorry, if I can follow up. How does it kind of reflect, I guess, the trend in college basketball? Obviously, Elena, you got through the portal, but Tisa.
Yeah, but I recruited Elena from Finland directly, and what happened was we needed a point guard so bad, and I couldn't really wait any longer. And Grace Townsend, we took as a transfer, and so Elena was sort of made to be a Tar Heel, and finally took a circuitous route, but she's here. It just it allows you not to give yourself a border, quite frankly. Go get the best player who fits your needs, that fits in with what we've got. And they've been remarkably low maintenance and really grateful, and they come with a lot more basketball experience. They're not playing AAU and all of that, they're playing professional basketball, right? And that's really been fun to see.
Speaking of Lena, talking over there about how awesome Carmichael is as
Yeah.
an environment. How
It's the best.
much you love bringing the fans out. How valuable was having those 2 tournament games, or 3 tournament games, I guess, or 4, I guess, because they're in play.
Yeah.
Those 4 tournament games in Carmichael this past spring to build that fan.
Yeah, I think also to have, the fact that the NCAA lets you host if you're a top 16 seed is an incredible reward for the fan bases that have invested in your program, right? Because that place, you couldn't get a ticket. It was literally jam full for all the games. And there's something different about a win or go home game, and it's so rare to have at home. And our fans just showed up, and I felt like we were giving back to a group that had really lifted us into this light. To this day, I've been coaching a long time. I coached a 30-0 team. I, won the Naismith National Coach of the Year, and having Alyssa jump on a scoreboard after going to a Sweet 16, after the career she had, is got to be the top.
Were you worried about her knee at all when she did
You don't worry about Alyssa Usby. She's going to play. She's going to play no matter what when it gets to be February.
How will you play?
You want to go ahead?
I was going to speak to Alina. I guess you got her from UCLA. How do you see her fitting your needs and making an impact?
Whew, she is good. Now, Alina can hoop. Might be the best passer I've ever been around, ever seen. I mean, she is an incredible passer. She's got, she can score at all 3 levels. She's played in pro, the EuroLeague, Euro Cup. I mean, she's played against pros, so she's very steady. She's reliable. She'll contribute to that great guard group and be really fun to watch.
With the influx of guards and wings, how will you play differently possibly than last season with all the depth? Will you be able to run more, think more up tempo?
It's hard to run more with Alyssa out because she's the best runner ever. But yeah, we'll be different. Our best 2 players last year consistently were our 2 posts, and neither one of them had 3-point range, right? So we had to make sure that they were always involved in the action, otherwise their defender would just sit. And so now our best players are actually at the perimeter spot. And so, and our posts can actually shoot it, and they can really stretch it. So, you'll have a little bit more space. There'll be more space for guards to attack in transition, where obviously there was more of a rim runner in the past. So, every year, every coach is doing it, right? You're playing to the strengths of your best players, right? That's much better than fitting a system and getting kids that fit your system if they're not as good. I always want the best players, and I'll figure out how to play to their strengths. So we'll be different this year. And especially early because we're so young in terms of game experience, but we will play ultimately differently than we did last year.
Let's hear about what growth have you seen from Sierra and Blanca in the offseason?
Yeah, well, Blanca's missed a lot of time. She's coming back from not a major deal, but she's just missed a lot of time. So she had a really good summer, but she hasn't practiced in a little bit. But, for her, it's finishing. She's got so much better at just finishing because she's fitter, stronger, and And then Sierra's just way more confident. She moves better. She's more confident. She has the ball in her hands more. I mean, posts, they come to you and they don't have the ball in their hands except to finish. And then it takes a little bit of time to get them going. So they'll just have a lot of opportunity. And they play it differently. They stretch it and they pass it and they facilitate offense more than be the finisher.
What's Blanca been doing?
Nothing that important. She's all right.